Hello everyone and welcome back to some more FGO event. And we even got a new one, Hunting Quest. How am I supposed to... Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh lord, there's so much. But yeah, and we're gonna continue with a Meihousou event. Most foul. And we're gonna fight? Ah. God. Dude. You know what? I'm gonna go with Serenity. That's nice actually. Level 100 Serenity like that. That's king. Let's see. And who am I gonna use? I'm gonna go with Serenity and her two grandpas. You know, I'm always rolling with these two. And I just imagine Li Chuan and First Hassan literally being grandpa to everyone, you know? They kind of have that thing there, you know? I might take something, yes, random lesser. Mama ears. That's so funky. Oh well. Oh well, who cares? I hopefully I don't get my ass beaten right away with these three. So session at the end of memory. Ah well, how am I supposed to remember that? Oh yeah. The entire boom, bam, bing, bang. Flashback, PTSD stuff. This place seems bigger than it needs to be. That's what I said about your mother. That's partly because there's also an emergency center here. One never knows when one might need it. Oh god, I hate that voice. We're prepared for anything here. We have food and medicine alike in ample supply. I see. So where is this medicine we need? I think it was on this shelf. Whoopsie! Oops! There goes the bottle. Now! Perfect timing. Dude, I love Moriarty. My head. Salazar, what's wrong? I just remembered. That's it, Salazar. Now go into your assassin mode. So something's not right. Oh, you're right, Salazar. That is not my name. Wait, did he actually really? What? How dare you? Ah! A truly revetting performance, but I think it's taking it a bit too far. And as though he truly lost his mind. Method actors. Dude. Oh, he's possessed. I forget his mind. He's lost his freaking humanity, can't you tell? His servant spirit origin is falling apart like a house of cards. He's practically a goddamn vengeful spirit now. Oh my, that won't do at all. Despacito. Then it is time this great detective brought this case to a close. Now this is still my seat. I am a fucking god. Leave him to me. All you need to consider is capturing my glorious combat prowess on film. But this great detective needs to. Sorry, brain. You snooze, you lose. I'm gonna see how this goes like a punch to the face and getting roasted alive. Dead. Whatever. I'm very sad. Despacito. Ah, what is the man? Ah, man. Okay, so Salazar possessed. I mean, that would explain why he don't remember stuff, I guess. You know, I think. Odd. Oh, well. Fatul Batal. Salazar. I thought we were gonna fight Salazar as Salazar, you know? I guess not. I guess we're not worthy. But is this a real battle? Because I'm literally gonna murder this. Wow. I've been so used to all hard fights, so this just feels like weird. This is nothing like when I was playing Last Belt, you know? This is like... We're One Punch Man. Right on the spine. Ba-boom. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Defeat 15 undead and... What? Undead? Can't they be unlive instead? Which they technically probably are. That's weird. Ah, well. Salazar, snap out of it already. My apologies. I don't know what came over me. What the hell, Salazar? You're turning into goddamn monster. What gives? X-nay on the Unsterming. So you have finally settled down. Good. I'm surprised that the cannon sound affected you dramatically. So dramatic. You must have been through something exceptionally traumatic. You could say that it was a cannon blast that killed me. Oh! Okay. A cannon blast, he has the pistol. Was he like a sailor? That is what I get. You know, like an... he could be like an... either a pirate or an... seafarer of sort. And... what the fuck were they called? I need to go... What the fuck were they called? I'm not gonna Google any, like, spoils or anything. I just need to remember what this... pirates that turn into... that plunder for the nation, whatever. There's something like that. You know? Golden age of piracy. Yeah, that's when I'm downloading shit. Hey! Conquistadors we have as well. Could be one. But, oh man, it is so unnerving. Because it's literally eating on my brain. You know, they had that, like, the country, like, Britain can be like, well, you get this free, like, plunder every ship except British ships, and we won't attack you either, like, that kind of stuff. Or maybe in like a British or Spanish admiral or something like that. Maybe Dutch? Because he definitely sound well, from seeing all of this like that, you know. He has like a matchlock pistol, the cross, so he's obviously, assumingly Christian, kind of like, oh, and killed by a cannon, yeah. At least now I can finally introduce myself properly. My name is... What?! He's baffling me! Are you serious? Bartholomew Robert? Is that it? What? Okay. Wait, are you serious? What? Didn't I fucking guess this way back? You know? Because I remember seeing like the image of Salazar, and Bartholomew is like one of those, you know, big pirates. And I was one of those. Bubbly Rob. Oh my god! No! Dude! Oh my god! The famous pirate. Never would have guessed this is you're so different from the other pirates we know. What do you mean by that? Oh my god! No! That's amazing! I'm delighted to hear the lady with such beautiful hidden eyes say so. Well, Wrath, we could have figured this out much sooner if we don't let Blackbeard take a look. Oh well. Yeah, why is no Blackbeard here? He's been dissed for way too long now, you know? We recall Sir Blackbeard saying he doesn't look at other guys' faces close enough to tell them apart. Well, that sounds like a Blackbeard thing too. So the old bastard's there too, huh? Yes, he is! And in my Chaldea boy, he is a level 100 asshole. Nay! Oh my god, please tell me we get him as a... Please tell me we get him barred as a servant. I would fucking love that. I know when I say it, it's how unlikely it is, but I hope it hasn't been causing you too much trouble. On behalf of pirates and dashing men everywhere, I apologize for his entire existence. Dude! Come on, man! Why? You're both pirates? You're both... did lots of shady ass shit? I'm just saying. It would be one thing if times were peaceful, but under the current circumstances. At any rate, there's nothing we can do about it now. Oh my god! No! You just... oh my god! Bartholomew, it's like... Oh, please don't worry your beautiful head about me, my lady. Come, my lady. Gonna fly. Butterfly, fly, baby. This dashing man was fated to disappear along with his singularity anyway. Even now he's trying to sell us on how dashing he is. Maybe that sort of bluster is what I've been lacking. Don't worry, Tristan. You're fabulous as you are. Trust me. I have a weak spot for redheads after all. And... man, they disappear along with his singularity. Wait, what? Are we done with the singularity? My spirit origin has always been like an ember on the verge of flickering out. I'm just happy to exhaust what little I left in that battle. There's no need for you to concern yourself, Master. So this is where we part ways. It was enjoyable while it lasted, Bartholomew. Ah, man, he looks so... oh, dude, I love him. I can't tell you how grateful I am for you giving me a new role to play when I had nothing to look forward to but to disappearing. I'm so sorry I'm leaving you like this. Will only make things harder for you. Forgive me for living in the middle of all this. Bartholomew. By the way, about the lovely lady with the beautiful bangs. You realize they're more the magic than her bangs, right? Well, the only reason he says that because he wants to bang her. Yeah, I'm sorry for being so crude. Like magic, like what? Dude, are we horny, right? I wish you could stick around to see this film completed. So if anything, I really regret not being able to do so. If I ever see you again, I'll hope you show it to me. Well, farewell everyone. Farewell, beautiful lady with the hidden eyes. Oh man, come on. Dude. I mean, barf. Barf. What is your obsession with my eyes being hidden anyway? That's your first question? Don't worry about it, my shoe. You're better off not knowing. Now that you've formed a connection with him, he's bound to come back sooner or later. Yes! Really? Thank you! Oh my god, I can have a pirate fucking crew. Ah! Dude! Oh my god. This is gonna be amazing. Anyway, now what do we do? Good question. I'm not sure there's anything we can do now that he has disappeared. There is indeed quite a pickle. Oh no, Pickle Rick? The funniest shit ever. I'm sure we managed to record Salazar losing his mind and attacking Vargas. If we did edit it well enough.
Unfortunately, I'm not sure that will be sufficient. There is no way to film the story where we originally vision without the scene where Salazar reveals his true identity and motive. At best, it would be a muddled mess for our audience.
What should we do about the last half of the scene where he turns into vengeful spirit? Something, symbolism, I guess.
Very well then, we should just have to come up with a different climax.
I can be the climax.
Yeah, wink when you nudge. If only they were that easy. We already filmed the scene with Salazar and Vargas going to look for medicine in the storehouse. With the people going in and only one coming out, it would only stand to reason that Vargas killed Salazar.
What was that? Well, technically, I suppose Vargas did kill him. Maybe Vargas is the murderer.
We could always leave the scene out, of course, but what that presents with other problems.
Right, it would be very strange for Salazar to suddenly turn up dead or just disappear from the film.
However, we do have a scene where Salazar and Vargas hit each other at the same time. If we made it so that Salazar inflicted fatal wounds on Vargas, and Vargas summoned up the loss of his strength to accelerate down with him, resulting in both of their deaths. I think that may give us the most options for continuing the story naturally. How does that sound?
Interesting, so you might show up become the villain or exit the movie for good. This is a pickle. Pickle Rick! Ah! Well, logically, both Vargas and Salazar would have to die here.
Unfortunately, there's no time for any reshoots. We simply have to use the footage we already have.
Right, Murasaki doesn't seem like to wake up anytime soon, and our top priority is to finish the movie, so... I never considered that my role might end like this. But very well, as Meihousou said, finish the movie comes first, so I will accept Vargas' death.
Besides, Isadora and Adriana haven't been getting enough screen time anyway. Examining the crime scene would be a perfect opportunity for them. We should be able to fake Salazar corpse with a mannequin and leftover outfit from the dressing room. Oh, as for Vargas, you can see him lay on the floor and pretend to be dead, Pharaoh.
To think my final scene would involve my playing body. Amusing. This is most amusing. I love Ozzy, man. He's such an ass. He's amazing ass. Dude, I still love. I would love to see more like Ozzy and Gilgamesh. Just they're such atrocious ass bags in their own way, and I just fucking love that how they could be together. And please don't say I said that about Gilgamesh to anyone, because then people think I actually like Gilgamesh, and then they will ruin my reputation. You see, nothing ever quite goes as planned in the making of a movie. What should I say when they're examining the bodies? I'm not coming up with anything.
You and Tristan there should figure something out while we get ready to shoot. We can save the reason that Salazar turned into Vargas for the conclusion.
Turn on.
At worst, we can always chalk it up somehow being the true culprit's doing.
It's for you to say your characters are dead.
As long as it doesn't turn into Miguel was actually alive the whole time, I can get away with saying whatever I want.
Oh, dude. I love it, like, smeared, like, Urgh. And also, that would literally be like how it ended with, when Sherlock Holmes and James Moriarty fell down the waterfall, they were assumed dead, and Sherlock Holmes later was revealed to be alive. But he had, like, you know, just packed the things and like, okay, now I can vanish and live a different life. Maybe it happened to Moriarty too, you know? Shady bastards don't die easily, you know? And you probably should keep your mouth shut on that one. You just shot yourself in the foot. Nothing could work out so that you end up getting blamed for all the crimes.
At any rate, we need to get back to filming. Come now, everyone. Let's do our best to finish strong.
Oh, dude, man, I want to get Bart, man, dude. Please tell me we get him. Oh, man. What was that? Whatever it was really loud.
Thank goodness you're alright, Elise.
Everyone, come quick, we found Vargas' house on the storehouse. Dead.
Vargas is dead? No way!
Poor Garcia. No, my lord!
We should go see for ourselves. You can grieve for your friend afterward. You're the doctor. You can, like, examine them.
So romantic. Almost.
Vargas, this can't be happening. They're both dead. It looked like they killed each other.
And which of them attacked first? Vargas would never ambush anyone.
It looked like you're right. Vargas bleed out from a wound on his back. Salazar must have attacked him from behind. He probably meant to kill Vargas with one strike and hid the body somewhere. But he obviously failed, leaving Vargas with just enough strength to strike back.
Nobody could have taken Vargas down in a fair fight, not even if they were 3 against 1. He must have known he wasn't going to make it, so he made sure to take Salazar down with him. It looked like they knocked over a bottle of volatile chemicals during the fight. That was almost certainly the cause of the explosion we heard. Salazar must already know he couldn't talk his way out of it. We could have interrogated them and got to the bottom of this lot faster if just one of them had survived. I mean, even if they did, depending on who it is, aka Salazar, it could be like, I don't know. You know? Just saying. What's wrong, detective? You haven't said a word. Mr. Poggioli is also known as Isidore the Sleeper, because he got very quiet when he considered evidence.
Kogori Mori, is that you? Falling asleep when coming on there, boop, boop, darts him.
Dude, so much drugs Mori gets, like literally from all this sleeping. I mean, I'm surprised he's not becoming addicted, you know, a crackhead. Like, I need the drugs. Conan, shoot me with your what? No, let's do what I need to fix. Oh, dude, that's actually pretty dark, dude. I don't want that. It's true. Even as we speak, my mind is evaluating all the possibilities at a dizzying pace. Didn't you say you were known as Isidore the Reaper before? Hypnos and Thanatos said to be brothers. Those my sleep and reaper person are 2 sides of the same. Dude, that is actually smart, man. Big brain. I like it. Whatever. Just stop bragging and tell us what you figured out already. I can't. Not when the culprit is listening. Oh, then you're saying one of us is the culprit. I will leave that to you, your imagination. For now, all I can say is this. There is no case so inscrutable that I, Isidore Poggioli, Mamma mia, Poggioli, why are you being a pasta boy? I'm sorry, Mario. Just imagine like that. You may sit back and rest assured that I have matters well in hand. Brilliant. They do say every good story is a surprise, but usually a story is more than just a series of plot twists and shocks. Haven't you seen Hollywood? That's literally what they are. They're like, bang, wow, I could never have guessed this, wow. If only Sir Barth hadn't disappeared. Oh man, I hope we can get him, dude. Good grief, looks like we might just come up with an ending for the story after all. Then we better stock up on pens and paper while we have a chance. Quite honestly, I'd much prefer the cast that arrive at a natural conclusion themselves. But to be or not to be, that is question. Hey, Holmes, there is something that's been nagging on me for a while now. And what might that be? Instead of going to Hokusai about the painting, wouldn't it have been better to start by asking Moriarty? I beg you pardon? Like you said yourself, Moriarty's condition was an unfortunate accident. So since Moriarty didn't do anything wrong this time, you could just as easily ask him, since you had to have been there too. I know you two are mortal enemies and everything, but in the specific instance, I don't think he has anything to hide. Were that the case, he would have brought up the portrait before we fought to investigate it. True, if he wanted the film to go smoothly, he should have mentioned the portrait being redone the first chance he got. I don't care for the way he holds on to information while snidely waiting to see what the rest of us do without it. That is literally what you do all the fucking time, Holmes. I'm just saying. You don't throw rocks in a glass house. Even if I called him out on it, he just claimed it slipped his mind, and that would be that. Get how you feel, Holmes, but that still doesn't explain why you didn't ask him. Fair enough. I don't know if this will convince you, but here it is. I'm a detective, so I believe I have an obligation to solve any mystery I come across. Don't know where that came from, but okay. I doubt there's any mystery you couldn't solve, but never mind that. However, there are phases that take place while learning about the mystery I'm about to solve. A phase where I examine all facts closely, free of preconception, and try to notice anything that seems out of place. In meticulously questioning everything, the relevant facts come to light, and the mystery reveals itself. So you're saying your approach revolves around careful examination and questioning what you observe? Right. But on the flip side, it also means that one cannot engage with a case without such examination and attendant suspicion. And when it comes to preventing a detective from seeing matter clearly, I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all the obstacles in the way. Pow! Ah! And therefore, suspecting them, there is no criminal more devious than James Moriarty. Wait, really? How does that work when him just being around makes anyone natural suspicious? There is such a thing as being too suspicious, you see. It makes it difficult to determine how much one should suspect other things. Ultimately making it impossible to focus on the proper issue in a case. I'm certain the whole reason he was able to rule the underworld for so long is because he made sure to never be anywhere that would arouse suspicion. In 19th century London, he would have dispensed his criminal schemes to others while erasing all trace of his presence from their surroundings. He ruled his network like a spider waiting in the middle of its web, all while remaining completely out of sight. If nothing else, it was an impressive feat. It even took me some time to be certain my suspicions were correct. Not to mention a painful sacrifice. His presence was really that invisible, huh? It would be easy to interrogate him now, but in doing so I would also be showing my hands as to my own method of thinking and questioning. Given that there is no telling when he and I might be on the opposing sides again, I prefer to give him a few opportunities as possible to learn how I think. So if I'm going to investigate a case that he's involved in, my only choice is to discover the core mystery while remaining as hands-off as I can. So he doesn't want Moriarty to learn how he thinks. Or maybe not just Moriarty. Never mind. Basically you're saying it's your examination of suspicion lets you see a mystery before you. And even if you have neither, there's no mystery, So we have arguably the world's greatest detective and the Napoleon of crime. Talk about a complicated relationship. Indeed. Help! Oh, it is Mr. Tristan. How can I help you? I was hoping you could tell me something, Sir Holmes. How exactly does a detective, detect? I'm afraid I have arrived at the realization that I have no idea how to be a great detective, only after I went to clear that my character was one. Now I don't know what to do. Despacito! I see. Well, you ask a very fundamental question. I will accept this role because I thought following Murasaki Shikibu's script would make me look good. But now I'm at complete loss for words. All I could do is stand around like a scarecrow. No, it's even worse than that. At least a scarecrow has some use, even if it's only keeping crows at bay. Ah, I'm so sad right now. Despacito. Scarecrow, huh? I have to remember that one. This is hardly funny. The way this film is going, my scarecrow impersonation may well be preserved for posterity. Forever! I don't even want to think about how Sir Bedivere would pity me if he saw me like that. I see. Very well, Mr. Tristan. I understand your concern. But to be quite honest, my particular brand of deduction is rather beyond your ability. That's not just honest, it's brutal! I mean, to be fair, Sherlock Holmes is not your stereotypical detective, you know. His brain works on different levels than any other of us does, for sure. No, don't misunderstand. I'm still prepared to give you advice. All I mean is that my deductions are ill-suited to puzzles whose solutions are known. I'm not so keen at filling in bits in the middle. It's a matter of aptitude. I see. Never mind him. That's just his poor attempt at humor. I assure you, I'm quite serious. Now then, Mr. Tristan, what sort of deduction would you like to make? I like to make them everyone go, of course, now it all makes sense, in admiration. And have them cement me as Sir Tristan, the smart and most handsome knight of the Round Table. Nothing too spectacular. That sounds like quite a tall order. For one thing, the Round Table is home to a great many handsome knights. That's true. We knights always try to be the best in everything we do. Having minds as sharp as teeth of Kerbanag is but one of many examples. But unfortunately, as I said, I don't know the first thing about playing the detective, so I'm at a loss. Try turning your assumption on the air, Mr. Tristan. Decide what your goal is first, then find a path towards it. What do you mean by that? You mean plot with a foregone conclusion. Once you know it ends, all you have to do is come up with a story that fits it. Precisely. First, decide on truth you would like to see. The more interesting, the better in this case. Next, find all the clues that support that truth, and then simply set aside any that do not. This should lead you to truth sufficiently compelling for your audience to ignore any loose threads you may have. Of course, it would be a severe problem if the police or district attorney handle the investigation this way, but since this is for a movie where there's nothing but entertainment at stake, it should be fine. I see, thank you, Holmes. This has been a revelation. I now know exactly what I have to do. Come up with a shocking, compelling truth. The explanation will simply follow that. I'm not convinced. I get the feeling he could still inadvertently turn this thriller into a comedy. Well, if you don't mind me just rattling things off the top of my head, I could share some ideas with you. I appreciate the offer, but as a matter of fact, I just came up with a brilliant idea myself. Is that so? I have my doubts, but alright. It's a dick move to go out and sell instant criticism on someone's story. He said dick! Hey! The small, sassy child said dick. That's weird when I say it like that. Well, I look forward to seeing what you're coming up with. Not to worry. I promise I will exceed your expectations. Now then, if you excuse me. However, this turns out, there's only so much we can do until Mr. Murasaki wakes up. From here on, we may as well just sit back and enjoy the show. You're not wrong, but that's hell of a way to put it. Well, however this turns out, it should be entertaining at the very least. Some story, yeah? I better tell Master right away, and then he get killed. Oh. Everyone was listening. You guys all hear that? I'm not usually in the habit of eavesdropping, but I simply couldn't help but overhear in this case. It's not our fault he didn't even notice we were here. Anyway, this explains why he's been so quiet during filming so far. I guess in one sense he was feeling more pressure than any of us. Anyway, I guess we can just wait for Tristan to present his idea to conclusion. In that case, maybe I'll have a little fun myself. I'm glad I have to overhear that. I might just be able to tie everything together after all. Oh no, everyone can have different stories? Our lord. I still need to live up to Queen Marie's expectations. So what would Antonio do? Maybe. Yes, maybe. Really? Master, I need to talk to you. What's up? I believe I've found a way to bring this movie to a satisfying conclusion. Just give me, let's say, 30 minutes to collect my thoughts. On second thought, make that an hour, just to be safe. Is it true? You've been stealing my thunder thus far, so I plan to make sure at least I go out with a bang. Dude, don't tell me he's gonna ending up dead, literally exploded. Because that is what I'm just... So anytime someone says that, I make sure at least go out with a bang, and then literally they do explode. That sounds great. I can't wait to see it. Okay, I'll let everyone else know. Wouldn't that be something? That Tristan dies, but actually he fakes his death, and then he reveals in the end like, aha, I found the culprit. Alright, time to come up with something that will blow everyone away. Remember this day, my fellow knights of the Round Table. Today is the day Sir Tristan, knightly detective, bursts into the scene. All I have to do now is to decide on the culprit before the hour is up. I'm counting on you, future me. I'll leave it to the future. It's like, I'm leaving all the problems of tomorrow me. I haven't seen Tristan that excited in a while. I guess the me will be done filming soon. Look that way. After editing the footage we got so far, I'd say we got about an hour's worth of movie in the can. So we need to find a way to end the story in about 30 minutes. No matter how many possibilities we leave on the cutting room floor. At least Tristan looks like he has a good idea up his sleeve. He's a poet at heart, right? So I think we'll come up with something that appeals to the wide audience. You're really enjoying this, aren't you, Doctor? Miss Romani. Well, of course, I've been monitoring the whole thing on my end, too. I don't think I'm enjoying it quite as much as you, since you're the one actually filming everything. But I've still been having a blast watching the whole production from the start to finish. It is a shame that I haven't been able to see you in action, since all the footage is from your perspective. It's always from my perspective. I'm the main character. But I figure Master can fill me in on that side of things once you all get back. Still, the way things are going now, it might not all be smooth sailing. What do you mean? Do you think the character is still in danger? Only if Sir Tristan did turn out to be softly violent. No, I have a different concern. I suspect the rest of the cast might be thinking along the same line as him. From everything I've seen so far, they all got really into their role. Dude, I would fucking love it that, you know how I mentioned Tristan faking his death? Like, ending up dead. And everyone else do that too, but faking their deaths. So literally, like, everyone is dead. That would be fucking hilarious. I would love that. Like, everyone going for the same plan at the same time and fake their deaths. That would be amazing. I would love to see that. So it's only natural. They all want their character to be the star of the show and come out on top. I expect that's true for you too, Meihousou. Am I wrong? Are you secretly hoping that Lana gets to enjoy the spotlight too? Well, yes, I would like to record Semba's valiant figure on film for posterity. Valiant! Call me God! Right, so the real work of resolving the singularity is just beginning. Oh shit. Lana, I'm guessing it won't be long now before you have each actor speaking up with their own idea about the film should end. I'm sure they'll all be interested in some way. Jean might even try bullying you into going with her ending. But no matter how good they are, we can't use all of them. And maybe we can only have one ending after all. So as their master, you're the one who's going to have to choose. There's no right or wrong answer for this movie, and I'm sure each actor idea for the ending will have some core truth to it. So I'd like you to think about that sort of movie you want to film before you make your decision. Michael Bay movie! It doesn't need any real plot, just explosion and hot babes! Do-do-do! That will be our answer of the singularity, and I think satisfying the late director's spirit will also help us get a better reward. I guess so. I guess so. But man, I am just really... I want to see Bart joining the Chaldea, man. I want to see that. Dude. Is he also gonna turn to an otaku wee pirate, or is it just Blackbeard that is cursed with it? I guess it is. Araj script pitch. Script pitch. Can do. Hey, Master. Can I talk to you for a minute? I got an idea I want to share with you. Where is this coming from? Well, I was just kind of minding my business when an idea struck me. I know we can't use the Pharaoh's original idea now that Vargas is dead. But if we just tweak it a little, I think we could still bring it back to life. You know, like a phoenix. Oh wait, that Garcia is the prince? Huh? You dare take pity on me? If so, I will burn you to ashes on the spot. But I can see that I need not to worry. Very well, say your piece. How do you want to bring Vargas back to life? He was pretty definitely dead in the last scene. Especially since I was the one who pronounced him dead. Oh, I get it. You're saying we make Roma a liar. No, nothing like that. I'm not talking about Vargas himself coming back to life. And Roma wouldn't have any reason to lie. At least I don't think he would. Normally one look with my clairvoyance would reveal how things play out, but since this is an odd singularity, the usual rules don't apply. So, what is these ideas of yours? It's simple. Suffice to say, I want to honor both your and Murasaki's wish for the character. It's nothing exceptional, but I think a lot of people would be willing to accept it. In one sense, unveiling it here for the first time works out perfectly. How much longer do you intend to keep me waiting? Hurry up and get to the point! Sorry about that. Okay, then here's my idea for what it's worth. First off, let me ask you something. Do you remember what Murasaki told you back when she explained our character to us? Of course, that time that beautiful woman told me. Now I understand. What an amusing idea you come up with, Archer. Pharaoh Osmandias, can I ask what's going on? It would be uncouth of me to reveal it. Yes, I see. Hey, Shandy. Ja, kolla. Ja. You can go up here. Ja. Or not, I guess. This was not what I was really planning.
If there is a joke in there, she help me see it. I remember what Murasaki told us about our character too. She said you two were the prince of the old Nadian. And his attendant. Oh, now I get it. So that's your game.
I will figure it out, huh? Yep, you got me. So I couldn't come up with anything better. Sorry, Raj, but I still don't understand. Could you tell me what it's you're talking about? That he was the prince and Ozzy was the attendant. You're really kind, aren't you, Missil? Okay, let me try this again. Whoop! Murasaki, dude, it's a pretty cool, like, whoop. Murasaki told us that we were the prince and his attendant. So far I've been playing the attendant and the pharaoh has been playing the prince, as you expected. Right, oh, you mean... I sure do. Now that Vargas is dead, I thought we'd turn that around. I could be the prince and the pharaoh could be my attendant. It'd be a huge twist. 10 years ago, after Beryl escaped an attack on the palace, the prince and his attendant worked hand in hand to survive, eventually growing up to be a pair of fine young men. But they didn't think the prince was a wanted man. They could never be completely sure. So they pretend their relationship was the inverse of its true nature, to better hide the prince's identity. See, yeah, that's pretty much.
Alright, for the moment, let's say we go with this. How do you explain what happened with Gabrielle and Salazar then? Not to mention we still have to fit the portrait painter into all this.
Oh, that was just me kind of babbling. We can cut that out. Now don't worry, I got something in mind for that too. Man, Arash bringing big brain play here. We could make it so that Salazar wanted to kill Vargas, and that was he poisoned the glass. But the result was that Gabrielle ended up being the one who took the poison glass. When his attempt failed, Salazar to take more direct approach to killing Vargas once they were alone, only to die in the process.
But why would Salazar do such a thing? I can't see what his motive could be.
That's easy, because he was ordered to.
But Salazar worked for Gabriella, didn't he? Not only did he fail to kill his target, he ended up almost killing his master.
And on top of that, he got himself killed when he tried to again. Pretty poor excuse for an assassin, don't you think?
Well, given how he bodied when he did, I don't see how we can get around that.
Hey now, I'm not so cruel as make Gabrielle out to be a bad guy here. That's someone else. Someone else you never expect.
Are you talking about me?
Huh?
So I suppose having the detective be culprit would be quite a surprise.
Oh no, I'm still not ready to play cool and collect the villain. That sounds like a great idea too, but no, that was not what I had in mind.
I'm so embarrassed.
Despacito. Embarrassed Despacito. I noticed this when I was watching the footage. After I recorded the first scene, I only told 2 of the actors that their role was over. Old Man Tajima and Iso. But you never said that to Moriarty.
Now I get it.
So Moriarty's part of the move wasn't over. Mosaic must have been planning to have his character come back, right?
So saying Miguel was alive all along.
My god, Arash, what is up with the big brain? Hello, Charlie. Dude, Arash, man. Arash Airlines, the smartest plane.
Then what gives with the funeral? No, wait, it was Salazar who ran the funeral.
And as Miguel's loyal servant, he would be sure have no issue aiding his master to fake his death. Sure, I have no idea why Murasaki might have wanted Moriarty's character to stick around. I mean, I was choosing to believe she did so because makes my idea work even better.
Perhaps she merely wanted to keep me around as a production assistant.
She might also plan on filming flashback scenes. Either way, I think it's a great idea.
That would mean the portrait painter is Miguel.
No.
Look like you got me.
You seem pleased.
Of course, it's been too long since I got to play the mastermind. Well, maybe not all that long.
Even after he retired, he would still be a new nature's founding hero, so he would have to retain his vast influence. But that does not mean the Republic of Nadai Nada's political situation was stable. There were surely some factions who saw Miguel not as a hero, but as an obstacle. Well, that's tend to be. I see, so the threat of assassination must always be looming over his head. Thus he planned to fake his death to remove himself from the spotlight while counting to rule behind the scene through Gabriella. But then the last prince and his attendants suddenly showed up at the Meihousou, endangering everything he had planned. Miguel did not know if they were here by coincidence or to seek revenge. Either way, he decided to take care of them before they could discover anything that might truly jeopardize his plans. And that's why Miguel ordered Salazar to kill Vargas, who he thought was the prince. The last part of my idea involved Garcia confronting Miguel directly in his hidden chamber inside the Meihousou.
Nani?
Anyway, that's basically what I got. What do you think? I guess you could say it's my amateurish attempt at solving this mystery. You're welcome to use it as is, punch it up or just toss the idea out the whole cloth. Man, he's such a nice dude, man. Although if you decide to go with it, I'll let you film a side of me I don't usually show anyone. Oh! Intriguing, eh? I'm curious. Sakamoto's to on my pitch. Oh my god, is everyone gonna yeet in different pitches? Oh my god. I think it's good with Arash. Let's go with his. You know?
Now that Arash has shared his idea, would you mind if I went next? By all means, go right ahead. I'll be the one who decides the real ending no matter who else goes before me.
Tristan, man. Thanks. Okay, here what I got. I've been thinking about why Roma Qureshi came here and what he hoped to accomplish. Roma used to serve the nation's military and reported directly to Miguel himself. He surely had plenty of official avenues for success if he had chosen to pursue them. But instead he chose to leave and practice medicine in a small town. Even the work of creating a new country had to be much more interesting. Good point. It sounds like he must have been sick and tired of war by then. Exactly. So that's probably mean Roma wouldn't ever want to see Miguel again if he could help it. Cause that would only bring back painful memories for him. That's my guess too. But despite all that, he still chose to attend Miguel's funeral. He must have heard some reason for that. He must have had. And I don't think it's had anything to do with money. Given how close he was to Miguel, Roma would know more about Cortez' legacy than anyone other than Miguel himself. Right, and there is more to the legacy than just treasures. It's also packed with all kinds of sensitive documents. I think Roma wanted to find it because he believed it contained the truth about his friend's disappearance. Ooh. If it turned out his friend was actually living a happy life somewhere else, great. And in the more likely event that he wasn't, at least he would have some closure. He couldn't turn into police since the unstable government still had its hand full of maintaining order and developed a new nation. So he decided to slip Gabrielle a drug and take advantage of the ensuing investigation to explore the Meihousou and look for Cortez' legacy. So then how did he get the drug into her drink? Good question. Of course it would be impossible to make sure she chose the right glass. Especially as the host, she would inevitably end up with the last one. I mean, yeah, it would be really hard, but probably not impossible. Goddamn piss weather. Piss weather! I was supposed to help my grandma with the roofing today, but no one is pissing like that outside. Goddamn. So here what I'm thinking. Gabrielle was already peak exhaustion thanks to being far outside her comfort zone for so long. Her glass wasn't actually poison. The one she drank was just a straw that broke the proverbial camel's back. Roma figured this out after a quick examination to take advantage of her unconsciousness. He pretended to give her an antidote while actually giving her a powerful sedative. As a doctor, that's something only I could have pulled off, don't you think? However, Roma didn't account for Salsa going berserk. Does that mean you're not going to have Salsa and Dice so secretly be the same person? Definitely not. Isa lived and died by the sword. It was everything to him. There is no way he would keep up his training if he lost all his memories. I'd have to have the heart to remind Roma that Isa and Dice aren't actually the same person. Well, like Arash said in his own idea, I think we can safely assume that Isa's role in this movie is over. You're just embarrassed to perform with Isa face to face, aren't you, Roma? Ah, are you? Hello. It's not that, are you? And please don't pop out of nowhere like that. You scared me. Besides, Isa is not the kind of person who could do something like that. At worst, he could flip out and ruin the whole production. There's just one reason not to bring him back. But still, I have to justify his presence in the story. When Murasaki first explained my character to me, she said that Roma Kureishi was a Sansei, a third-generation Japanese immigrant. And I'm not alone. This country is home to a relatively large number of people with similar backgrounds. Isu's character's full name is Daisuke Oka, meaning to say it's also a Japanese name. Munenori's character was named Ryutan. His last name might be Chinese, or it might be originally being the Japanese name Tani, changed during immigration. These names might be simple, but they still follow different rules. Even my character's family name Kureishi has precedent in real life. Nightfall Stone or something? I know, Heidi. Pretty much, yes. Anyway, given that our characters were all named to match our ethnicity, why didn't Murasaki do the same for hers? Yeah, I was wondering why she named her character Gabriella too. So my theory is that Gabriella is actually Daisu's younger sister, and Miguel changed her name when he took her in. Though I admit that might be a bit of a stretch. The audience would just have to use their imagination to fill in gaps, I guess. Okay, here's a thrust of it. Thrusting! We know from the earlier scenes that Roman got his hands on some top secret documents. I didn't give them much thought during that scene, but I think I got a good idea for them now.
Oh, look like someone getting quite accustomed to improvisation.
What if they were the reported tale of Dice who died? It's not as though you actually read what they say. How would you handle that aspect? Well, I do have one possible scenario in mind. I think Dice is the kind of guy who would go down swinging, making sure to make as many enemy... to take as many enemy... Hard to talk, man. But if he died in a blaze of glory like that, Roman would have long since heard about it, right? And if he already heard about it, he wouldn't have come all this way looking for answers. So if he died quietly, that would inevitably mean incredible skilled swordmasters killed him in secret. And I can only think of one character who fits that bill. You! General oh, okay, that was not what I was thinking. I was thinking Roman. Dramatic! You mean General Tan? From Miguel's perspective, both Tan and Dicey were forced to be reckoned with, who could turn on him at any time. So naturally they want to take each other out. I think like it would be much easier said than done. True, General Tan didn't seem like anyone's fool, and I doubt he would fight without good cause.
Yes, well, consider who was playing him. I'm not surprised you came away with that impression.
So if one of them were going to challenge the other, it would be Daiso. And he seemed like be a lot easier to manipulate, don't you think? If we filmed it, I imagine the scene could go something like... Kill General Tan, and I swear on my life that was your sister cared for and protected. Then they fight and end up killing each other. I see, that seems like it would tie up all the loose ends. And not to mention it sounds exactly like something Miguel would do.
Good heavens, could you all be just a touch kinder to me? Gentlemen at my age have surprisingly thin skin.
Like any boomer. True to his words, Miguel took in Daiso's sister and raised her to be a proper lady. But then I broke his word and married her. If Daiso had known this would happen, he'd probably have gone absolutely nuts to cut Miguel down on the spot. So what happens now that Roman knows the truth? Is that the end of the story? Nope, that's just a halfway point. Does Roman seem like the kind of person who would just pack his bags and leave without finding out what really happened? No, the real question is what he does after he learns the truth. Now then, Lano. I see this much the same as Arash did. In other words, I think Miguel is alive and biding his time sword inside his mansion. But now he's panicking of losing his pawn, Salazar, in an unforeseen accident. So Roma asks Garcia for help. He suspects that Garcia knows his way around the Meihousou well. And above all, he knows Garcia's desire to avenge Vargas is genuine. Working together, they manage to find Miguel's hideout. When they confront him, he only has one thing to say. Fuck off! So what happens next? What happens next? Isn't it obvious? Anyway, I don't know if we're going to go with this idea or not. It's honestly better to lay it all like this. Man, I like her, man. But if we do go with it, I plan on taking it real seriously. Anyway, I hope you all at least mull it over. I think that was a good idea. Why not incorporate like everything? Salieri's script, okay. Man. Meihousou most foul. I know I'm pretty foul, but come on, man. Come on, man. Nowadays, it has escalated into a detective competition, or rather, a contest to see who can come up with a more solid structure for this story. I would like to throw my hat into the ring. I missed the ring. In fact, I feel I must. You too, Salary? Him? I mean, your character just seemed to draw much less attention compared to everyone else, so... Of course I have questions, though not about the film. What is it I'm doing here? No, never mind that. I already decided I would try to live up to the Queen's hope for me. I've been thinking about this bed I've been inhabited, Antonio. Antonio Banderas! Hey! I wasn't able to learn much about him from Murasaki Shikibu, so I don't know who he is. All I know, beautiful smile. He shares my name and also used to be a court musician. How bitterly ironic. Still, if I assume there is a slight chance that Antonio was a flesh and blood person who truly existed, then I can imagine what he must be thinking. It took me some time, but eventually I did arrive at the core of who Antonio is. Yeah, it was tough getting that character, wasn't it? I'm just glad Murasaki helped me out by making Roma similar to me. Indeed, she did the same for me and Antonio. It was a conscious choice on her part. Once I realized that, the rest was relatively easy. That is actually how, you know, when you're doing, since I'm doing a lot of role-playing games and D&D and stuff like that, especially when you're in the beginning, when you're getting used to that kind of stuff, many times you actually play characters very similar to yourself, because it's easier to set into that mindset, because that's who you are, you know. And with time, you often get a bit better, like at playing different characters, stuff like that. But yeah, that's how many start. Though at the same time, I also noticed there was a contradiction in his story. A contradiction? Given how much is being improvised, I'm not sure there's much point in worrying about a contradiction or two. No, this one goes back to the very beginning, when Murasaki Shikibu was still involved with the production. I suspected she planted that detail intentionally and thought long and hard about what it could mean.
I don't remember anything strange. All I remember is that footage came out well.
This was from the very beginning. Go on, think back. Surely you remember this exchange between Antonio and Roma. Oh, that's alright. At any rate, I'm surprised you made it through the massacre. I remember they slaughtered everyone in the palace that day, even the non-combatant. Oh, that's...
yeah, I remember that now, but that was what's a bit about that line?
Everything. Yeah, I'm surprised you made it through the massacre. I mean, that means he was there and somehow survived, and yeah. Take Vargas and Garcias. How do you think they survived the massacre when their castle fell?
How the hell should I know? Maybe they just got lucky.
Or maybe Antonio guided them out of there. We need to ask the royal family's retainer clearly risked their life to help them escape. That is what it is to be a loyal servant, even in face of your country's imminent collapse.
You don't say.
Maybe that means Vargas and Garcia have been fending for themselves all this time because they were only ones who managed to escape. Besides, maybe it's because the prince witnessed loyalty like that when things were dire. That he grew up with such a strong sense of justice. And I think about it, that seems strange that the former government's court musician would have survived. Exactly. When the castle fell, the only ones meriting any sort of protection would have been royalty. Antonio would never have been spared, no matter how talented a musician he may have been. True.
Perhaps Antonio has some fans among the court, just as the prince had his retainers.
Fans so devoted to be willing to risk their lives for him? No one would do that, even for a peerless genius, let alone ordinary. Dude, have you not seen fans? There are fans that definitely would do that. I mean, it doesn't mean that they were there, but there are definitely fans that would do that. Definitely. I'm saying. I can think of a few. For the purpose of this story, assume that there was no one quite so odd as that. No, the reason Antonio survived the attack is obvious. He was relieved of his possessed court disease just before the revolution took place.
Yeah, that tracks. But why was he fired then?
As if you need to ask. Because he lacked talent. And without such talent, he must have been utterly lost once he no longer had his position at the palace. That's awful. But then in that case, how did he become such a popular musician? There's a great deal of difference between what is popular with the masses and what is appreciated at the court. True, that's true. A great deal of difference. Sound like a guy speaking from experience. Shut up, bitch. I'm not Saldiri. There's no point in bringing that up now. Alright, that should fill in the blanks for Antonio's background. The next question is, why did he so fervently wish to come to the Meihousou? Now that you mention it, he did say that he'd pull everything he could just get there. Yeah. After hearing rumors Amigo had fondness for young women, he may have thought to present Elise as a gift. Wow. Well, scumbag. Purik should do the favor and die in the fire. Hell, I got some gas and plenty of matches right here, ready to burn our soul.
And a reminder, there still hasn't been a single crime committed here.
Let's do some arson for freedom. Anyway, I still don't get why Antonio would do that. Had he already found success as a popular musician, right? He's got fame and money. What else would the guy want at this point? That's exactly it. Antonio came to the Meihousou in search of something he neither fame nor money could provide him. Something he wanted badly enough that he was willing to sell off his own partner. And what was that? Sheet music. The sheet music left here by the post-court musicians. I don't know how much they left behind, but whatever it was had to be here in the Meihousou. Miguel was going around collecting all sorts of documents anyway, so I don't see why sheet music couldn't be among them. No matter how successful Antonio was among the larger populace, he could never wipe away the stain of his youthful failure, and then he found himself unable to turn away from it completely. So he wanted to see the music his dead colleagues had left behind one more time. He had to know for sure. Had he made up for this period lack of skill over the past 10 years, or was the gap insurmountable no matter how hard he worked? They do say to write from experience if you want to quickly infuse a work with gravitas. While the finer details are, of course, quite different, I would seem bring an element of Antonio Celleri's own life here, bear that out. It's a hell of a lot to throw at the viewer, but that's how it should be. Take this, viewers! Ah, my face! My eye! I think it's a wonderful idea, but it doesn't really get to the truth of the larger story, or have with the conclusion, does it? If you went with it, it would make this story all about Antonio rather than the murder at the Meihousou. I did think about how I could fit this story existing pieces together, but I'm not as practiced at this as others. Don't expect too much regarding the truth of this case. That said, I didn't think of a conclusion. I imagine it's just the sort of thing you would expect from an Avenger.
Well, what is this? Color me curious. I, for one, would be quite interested in hearing a conclusion that doesn't cost me as a mastermind.
I see no point in going into detail on a story that may never be filmed. All I will say for now is that we set about filming it, and expect I will need Sir Tristan's help. I see. Well, if my help is required, then I would be glad to give it. Though, of course, that won't happen, since Mighty is sure to be the one that is chosen. He's not gonna get chosen, and Tristan gonna get depressed and be sad to play Despacito. At least, I think so. Well, you're aware of it. Geez, what you got yourself working up for? Okay, there's a drama, huh? Gene alters script. Who cares? Oh my god. Dude, I would love to see Blackbird's script. Yeah, and then we have all the girls undress themselves, and I will sniffing their armpits. God, shoot me. Guess it's my turn now. Well, I thought I would go next, but of course I'm happy to let you go first. After all, there's no way you could top the idea I come up with.
Does seem like it's come up with something interesting, but I suspect this contest winner will be determined more by who speaks up first. Or I guess by whoever one that I guess we vote for.
Don't mind if I do. First off, how did you guys interpret Ellie's mood at the beginning? Total bitch. Well, since she saw someone she dislikes enough to insult mercilessly collapse right in front of her, I guess I'd say she was kind of a, well, suck it mood. I remember Murasaki kept actually asking all to say as many mean things as possible. It's like you were born for the role. My sides are splitting. Are you looking for an ass-kicking master? You gotta ask. And why it seems Ellis struck me as being jealous and petty. I can see why you guys would think that, but my interpretation is completely different. I know Elise isn't exactly the delicate wallflower type, especially not with me playing her. I have a flower there, though. Really? Nothing? So glad I bit my tongue there. Anyway, I read something very interesting in a philosophy book the other day. It said that people only get jealous of others who have something they want. I mean, it's true. And what is wrong? You can get inspiration from mangas. I get inspiration from lots of mangas. And though then again, it depends on what kind of manga it is. I must say. I don't really know anything about what kind of winning crap, but it sounds right to me. So if Elise was jealous of Gabriella, you might think it's because of her money. But it couldn't be that, because Elise was already comfortable in her singing career, on her way to being truly rich. No, I think that Elise was actually jealous of her. It would only be because Gabriella was a better singer. So I don't think she was jealous. I think it got deeper than that. Hatred. Well, if Elise really did upset Gabriella, it'd probably make her professional life a lot harder, no matter how popular a singer she is. Indeed. If she cared about her career that much, I can't imagine she would try to risk incurring an authority figure's wrath. And if she merely disliked Gabriella, she could have just badmouthed her behind her back. So if Elise wasn't jealous of Gabriella, what did she feel? Love. I'd say she was strongly fixated on her. Huh? The way I see it, Elise had a very personal reason for coming to the Meihousou. A reason that motivated her to pull every string she could to get in, just like Antonio did for his shit music. For his shit music? She wanted to see her beloved childhood friend again. Ooh. Who would that be? Gabriella, dumbass. Back when this country was still a kingdom on that day, Elise was a child living in poverty. There's no way she would have a good life in the final months leading to the coup. Luckily, Elise had a close friend she could always lean on for support. I think that friend was Gabriella. Let's say she was called Kaoru back then when she was a little girl. While I'm at it, I'd adopt Ryoma's idea of making her Daiso's lost sitter. Oh, thanks, I'm honored. And since we already had a scene where I thought Elise might be Daiso's sister, there should be any problem I had a scene where I thought Elise might be Daiso's sister. There should be any problem establishing that you're around the same age. Ah, yeah. But then one day, Kaoru suddenly disappeared. Rumor had the General Cortez took her in on as his daughter. And since Elise was still a commoner, there was no way she'd be able to see her friend again now that she's basically royalty. But Elise didn't give up. She vowed to see her friend again and use what a few familiar bonds she had to find Antonio. And worked hard to become a singer famous enough to rub shoulders with royalty. Eventually, all that had was paid off and she finally came to face with Kaoru again. But Gabrielle didn't treat you like a childhood friend. If anything, it seemed like she didn't recognize you at all. I don't know if she really didn't recognize me or if she was just pretending not to. But either way, you can't imagine how pissed I would be to come all this way and have my closest childhood friend ignore me. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think that's why I was such a bitch to her, even though I was happy to see she was alive and well. You're still, nah. Yeah, probably. Also, shut up. Think about it from Kaoru's perspective. Yeah, it's pretty natural to be kind of upset, I guess. There was nothing she could do about her brother going missing, or about being taken by some creepy old guy from the old court. It doesn't matter how nice her new love was, She was still a bird in a gilded cage. She must have had to bury her feeling deep down just to get through the day. That's what I want Goro to stop suffering in silence. I want her to show how she really felt, even if it meant she never speak to me again. That's all. There's a lot to take in, but I love how dramatic it is. Although, does it mean Elise isn't the culprit then? Hell no. There's no way Elise would do anything to ruin her chance of seeing Gabriella's reaction after coming all this way. If anything, she'd be furious at the culprit for robbing her of this opportunity. Oh, damn you, opportunity! Not to mention that if Gabriella ends up dying from this, she'll never have another chance to talk to her. So Elise would throw everything she had into finding the culprit, for Gabriella's sake as much as her own. The culprit would Miguel fill that role here like he had in the other scenarios? Yeah, Miguel. Nah, the old creep can stay dead so he doesn't get in the way. Ouch! Just deal with it. You've been dead this whole time anyway. And Elise wouldn't have any reason to undergo combat training, so she couldn't do a fight scene anyway. Well, she could, but she'd probably die then. Besides, I already know how this story ends. But if Miguel isn't the mastermind, how would you intend to tie up all these loose ends? Simple Gabriel's young widow. It's no stretch to think that people around her might come with some wicked ideas. I'd say her servants wanted to steal all of Cortez's legacy for themselves. Makes sense. The government could take back any land and property they try to steal. But if they are dirt on people in power, that would give them considerable more freedom to act as they like. But of course, they'd be the first to be suspected if they kill Gabriella when no one else was around. So they waited for the opportunity to like this to try and poison her. All that they have to do is dump in their crimes on one of the guests. Yeah, that works. This way we can say that Salazar tried to kill Vargas to make his death look like a suicide. Still, this would make Salazar the culprit. Would it not be somewhat anticlimactic to have him already be dead for the film's conclusion? I said servants, plural. Salazar not the only one in this scenario. A number of servants, Still, we never see any of those other servants during the film. How would you explain that? I mean, sure, that's a little weird if you think about it. But it's also weird that there's only been one servant in the giant mansion, right? True, that is highly unrealistic. So if we could say that there are actually lots of servants behind the scene and they just don't ever actually appear on screen. Now we'll see. That sounds like a great idea. I suppose we could request a Chaldeans that play the servant, but that seemed like a lot to ask this late in the production. Got crap on the screen. Oh, well, okay, what? Oh, wait, that was Jean. Nah, I'm just joking. Please don't hate me. We try to be who challenge to get 10 or 20 extras at this point, but we don't have to do all. All we need is one single actor. And luckily for us, we got someone perfectly ordinary and remarkable right here with us. Me? I don't know who you mean. Ugh, you're so dense. She's standing right there, looking like a confused dweeb, even as we speak. Hey, come on, man. I'm always looking like a confused dweeb. It's kind of my personal trait. Aren't you, Lano? Yeah. Hey, you don't mean. Now you get it. That's right. You're a new culprit. That's it. No, Meihousou, I did not swear. I didn't mean to throw you under the bus. Sorry, I'm afraid I got a little carried away. See, Gene, all of these staple of mystery movies, where it turns out the person behind the camera was actually one of the characters all along. And above all, this way Sam became part of the cast too. I think it's a wonderful idea. Good point. If Lana's servant's here, it don't make sense that she'd be sticking close to us all this time. And that also means she'd be able to keep an eye on everything and move about freely. In a sense, it makes her way more of a villain than Moriarty.
Was it really necessary to bring me into this? What is up with you people? Get some more imagination.
Then, when I point to the culprit, the camera can do a 180. And reveal Lano as the mastermind who literally been working behind the scenes this whole time. Yeah,
Yes, I am the mastermind. Fear me.
Intriguing. Your idea has a great deal of merit to it, firewoman.
Damn straight. Still, I know it's kind of a stretch, so I wouldn't blame you if it's not what you go with. You know, being creative is kind of fun.
It is. It is.
Come to think of it, you also said you already know how this story ends, right, Gene Alter? You tell us what you have in mind? Well, it's nothing that special. After I reveal the culprit is basically assassin on me and the still sleeping Gabriella, we'll tell her how I really feel. Wake up, bitch!
Oi.
As far as that would you go, you can find out once we start the filming.
Did I mean? Yeah, I guess not. Well, that's an idea. Tristan, okay. Man, how many? Dude, this is taking quite a bit. Oh boy. But I do like this, you know, in a sense of like writing stories and stuff like that. I love to write stories myself, you know. And, you know, many times you do end up like that, you know. You're ending up with lots of weird ideas, and you're like sorting them out, and then maybe you take parts of that, and then, yeah.
Oh, no, I'm very impressed by how much thought you all put into your ideas. But of course, Isidore is the great detective, so he's bound to be just as good, if not better. Right, Tristan? Tristan?
I'm done for.
Hey, what's wrong? You look like the end of the world or something.
I can't believe she had the same idea as me. Oh. I stake everything on my originality, and now I don't even know original leg to stand on. If I say my idea was to make Master the culprit now, they think I'm just ripping off Jean. Matthew, being a detective is much more difficult than it seems. They may appear to be offered blessed with special privilege, but at their heart they have almost nothing propping them up. The fact that I cannot rely on any drama for the conclusion like the rest of you left me at a great disadvantage. I see now I should have been planting clues for the conclusion earlier in the story. Perhaps something that would let me claim to secretly be another character's brother or character everyone else thought was dead.
Tristan.
By the time I found myself wishing to take on the lead role, it was already too late. Despacito! Alas, if only I'd realized this feeling sooner.
So Adriana was doing almost all the actual detective work.
True, at this point I can't tell what his character is even doing here.
Indeed, for that matter, he hasn't even justified why he's been carrying a harp around this whole time.
Have you just been asleep all this time? Maybe he's not an actual detective, you know? Maybe he's a musician. The way things are going now, Isidore will be nothing but a useless scarecrow claiming to be a great detective. Can I truly let things end this way? No! No, I cannot! Okay, now we know it's serious. As soon as a character that have their eyes like squinting like this closed, and as soon as you see the eyes, you know, like, shit is going down. Oh no.
Spare us the whole sackcloth and ashes routine. Though it's true that up to this point, you haven't done a single solitary detective thing.
Your words cut deeper than any blade. But it's alright. I decided to come at things from a different angle and make use of my incompetence.
Tristan?
Given that at this point, Isidoro is indeed a detective in name only. But if it was actually Adriano who has been controlling him all along? Yeah, I mean, if an culprit like, oh no, it's a detective here, they would most likely aim at the detective rather than the assistant, you know? Then, upon revealing herself as a true detective, Adriana could identify the culprit and it would be the end. Oh, so you think I might subvert expectation and running with it, huh? I like it.
But if we go with that, you're gonna need a real dossier of an explanation.
Yes, explanation. At this point, I say any of them would do.
Huh?
As long as we keep glossing over any accidental film the way we have been, it doesn't matter what the truth ultimately is. Any one of the ideas of yours come up with would work fine.
Wouldn't that mean abandoning the larger premise?
No, it wouldn't, because the conclusion I have in mind begins after that part. Did you not just say it would be end after Adriana solved the mystery? I decided to try looking at things a little differently. While you are being preoccupied with solving the Meihousou murder mystery, my case involves solving the mystery of this Hollywood Meihousou itself. In other words, we make it out of character footage itself part of the movie. So you'll be including our own actual confusion in the story, huh? That would change everything about the movie. We should arguably never have tried to film a movie without an overarching theme in mind. So now that we have, we could make Murasaki Shikubu's fainting incident the true mystery. What if her fainting was an actual unfortunate accident, but only disguised to look like one? And if that were the case, who would stand the benefit of removing her from that scene? Does that not sound like an interesting mystery? Tse, you went the meter round. I love the fact that Anderson literally looked like a DM as well with a book and all that, like, tse, you went the meter route, yeah. Puh. Noob. Still a good work for a puzzle mystery. As long as you take it seriously, though your strategy is the breaking point. That said, you'll need to have a really good explanation or the viewers won't accept it. What you got? I shouldn't tip my hand any further. All I will say is that I guarantee it will be interesting. After all, I am this movie's detective.
And so you're saying the best part for your own character, huh?
I'm very curious about Tristan's idea. I don't know, you now have 5 possible endings to choose from. They all sound great, but we still don't have time to film them all.
What? Oh, come on, man!
I guess things turn out just like Dr. Rama said it would. What do you say, Master?
Gonna choose one.
Yes? I have to go with... What? I got to... Oh...
Jean Arc? What? I didn't want her ending. I wanted Tristan's ending. What? Oh, come on, man. Man, it's way too many thirsty fans, I will say. God damn it. I would, honestly, I would rather see like Arash or something like that instead. Or Tristan's. I think might have figured out who did this.
Really, are you sure? Then how did he make sure that only Gabriella Glass would be poisoned?
That's just it. We shouldn't have assumed that Gabriella Glass was the only one that was poisoned. It's obvious they were all poisoned. She would have collapsed no matter which one she chose.
But we didn't die. But so then why didn't any of the other guys fall ill?
I see I wasn't clear enough. Sorry about that. I mean, alcohol in its own way is poison. What I mean is that the wine contained only trace amounts of poison. It wouldn't be nearly enough to make a healthy person sick by itself.
Or that.
But what if the same poison that had been building up in the same person's body day by day, and the trace amount in the wine were enough to trigger the symptoms?
Interesting, I never considered that possibility. But if that's true, it would mean whoever is responsible for this would have to be incapable of poisoning Gabriel's food and drink every day.
Exactly. And the only one who could do something like that is a servant here in the mansion. That's right, I'm looking at you.
How did you... Dude, I would love if you literally turn around and then you saw my bearded Godako there like... That would make sense.
How did you know? Had you been hanging around us this whole time, making sure to watch everything we do? There's no telling what kind of sneaky shit you'd be gotten up to if you fell at it.
Bow. Oh, isn't that Saber's clove?
Come on, Carol, aren't you ready to wake up?
Wake up!
Did you honestly forget your real name? You know, I spent a lot of time thinking about what I was gonna say when you finally saw you again. But all could come up with was this straight shit like long time no see, or how have you been? Still, I eventually figured that as long as you still remember me, what I said wouldn't be important. But then it didn't seem like you recognized me. Before I knew it, I was thrashing you right in the face. I was sure that would at least get your attention and finally hear you have you really feel it. I never thought you collapse for being poisoned before I get the chance. But hey, I cured the girl who's been doing this to you, so all you have to worry about now is getting better. I don't care if you want to start back up where we left off, or if you never want to see me again. I just want to hear you how you really feel, no matter how long it takes.
This is what happened when you let Sims decide. Oh god. Honestly, that and Antonio's were probably the more, like, in my opinion, the boring ones. You know, I would really love more to see the, you know, the Arash or Tristan, you know, or Roma. But I guess if we got to vote and decide, it kind of felt like it would be kind of obvious. Because, you know, Yalter has a big fan base, and also she has to wear sexy dress while everyone else look like normal. This has been an amazing experience. You never figured film a movie could be just as fun as fighting, though in a different sort of way. There you are! Great news, Murasaki's awakened now. Really? Come now, senpai. Let's go see her. I'm so sorry for making you all worry about me. It wasn't your fault. No. So how's the production going right now? As a matter of fact, we managed to finish it ourselves while you were sleeping. Oh my, you actually finished it? We did. Our editor at Caldea is working furiously on the footage as we speak. But we do have a rough cut here if you would like to see. Yes, I would love to. Oh my, I can't believe it. That bad? No, not at all. I can't possibly thank you all enough for finishing the film while I was indisposed. All I've done this whole time is make trouble for the rest of you. Are you sure that all you wish to say, Murasaki? If there's anything else, it's best you spit it out now. I'm afraid I don't know what you mean, Lord Shakespeare. Permit me to elaborate in your style, Miss Murasaki. This is the time of the essence in this singularity. Your original idea of this movie was to make it a variation of the Tale of Genji. Am I correct? A variation? I don't even know the Tale of Genji. I'm afraid I don't know a little about that story myself. But now that you mention it, I can see the similarity. What is... I mean, I know she is famous for it. No, but you're exactly right, Lord Holm. The Tale of Genji. Let's see about that. The Tale of Genji. Genji Monogatari. Hey, Monogatari! Wee! Wee-hoo! It's a classic work of Japanese literature written in the 11th century by a noblewoman and lady in waiting, Murasaki Shikibu. Created one pick and... plot: Genji's mother died when he's 3 years old and the emperor cannot forget her. The emperor Kurisubu down here of the woman. Genji in the capital emperor is troubled by his late father Kiritsukubu. Even turned for his life began to decline. Okay. Well, I'm too late. I'm too lazy to check that out now. I'll do that later. Based on Miguel and Gabriela ship on between Genji and Murasaki. I wanted to try simulating what would happen if a young girl who was taken in by an old man and raised by a lady of high society was suddenly set free to lead her own life. I also planned to include a large cast of varied characters: the former prince and his attendant, a doctor, an artistic genius, a mysterious detective, a faithful servant, and a mean-spirited singer. And have them all take part in a series of melodramas that revolve around Gabriella. That would make Antonio and Arivano and Nadia and Elise say Shonagon. And Elise, okay, say Shonagon and Arivara no Nadia. I don't know who they are, so they don't say anything to me. Say Shonagon.
If there's something you want to say to me, please play right. I'm about to say it to my face. I'll be even nice and listen. Say this will be the last word you ever freaking speak.
and the Meihousou itself must be based on Bjord and Phoenix Hall, though I suppose that hardly matters now. Gabrielle and Salsa would then grow close, only for her to realize he is actually her brother, Daisu, who lost his memory during the war, so they don't end up together. Yeah, that would be really awkward. Really. So she threw an element of General Kaoru and Ukifune too, and then she was greedier than she looked. Hey, about that? My guess wasn't so far from yours after all. I was actually originally planning to have Lord Iso play Salsa as well. Yeah, you made the right call swapping out for Bartholomew.
So what you're planning on having Gabriel end up with anyway? At least I got to know that, or it's gonna bug the shit out of me.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, but, well, Gabriel doesn't end up with anyone.
Huh?
Miguel and Gabriel only appeared to be married. In truth, Gabriel was Miguel's adopted daughter.
Then what bother making their relationship so goddamn complicated?
Because men approach an adopted daughter different than they do a widow. As if we actually pretend to marry his adopted daughter out of concern for her well-being. Well, okay. As long as you don't do any other marital things, okay. Because the other... fuck, man. We take a nerves of steel to try and woo the widow of the nation's founding president, after all. So the rest of the story involved the different male characters approaching Gabriella, each with their different motives. For her part, she keeps trying to ascertain how much their men genuinely care for her. But at one point, she realized Miguel was the only one who loved her unconditionally.
So that's why you gave Hokusai those instructions while she was painting her portrait. If that's the other conclusion you had in mind, it makes sense that you would want the portrait to make us seem like father and daughter instead of husband and wife.
The story sounds like it would have made for a lovely movie. Maybe it will start now and really hurry, we could still film it. Sorry, no can do, Master. More than half of you said it's going to fall apart in about 3 hours. If we make it really fast! We have a little more time until the singularity disappear, but it's still not enough to shoot that many scenes. Honestly, the only one who still needs to be there for now is Lano. The rest of you can come back if you like. Da Vinci is editing a film as we speak. All that's left now is to play the once it's done and collect magic energy. Oh man, I wish Da Vinci could be here and editing my videos like... Then again, maybe not. You never know what she would add. Probably some really funny stuff. Making my videos way more fun. She add herself over me instead. She literally like cut out my image and my voice and just insert herself. Would way better.
What if we just reshot the ending? Would that be okay? If there's a better ending to be had, I know I would like to see it. We all would. It's alright, Lady Marsha. Please just forget about my plot. I'm overjoyed to know that you all work together to finish the film even without me. I truly am. Back when I was alive, I would never had the chance to collaborate with so many people like this. Now, I finally get to see the fruits of such a labor for myself. But...
Murasaki herself says she's fine with it. If you have any regrets, you can make it up for them in another movie. Meihousou 2. The Revenge of Salazar. He didn't die. He just waited and lingered in hatred. That's something. We writers can't help but write, after all. In that sense, Murasaki is an unstoppable juggernaut. I'm sorry, I know you just said most of you could come back now, but on second thought, would you mind staying there a little longer? I want to take just a little more time getting the race shift ready. Don't worry, I won't be long. There's a party hall on set, right? Why don't you hang out there and chat amongst yourselves? Oh.
Senpai, are we sure this is what we want to do?
No, I didn't want to go with jeans, but everyone else decided for me.
I'm very happy with the ending we all choose to go with.
No, I didn't choose that. That was not my choice. I have no issue with that.
But now that I know what sort of ending Murasaki had in mind all along, I can't help but feel dissatisfied. If it's all possible, I'd really like to shoot an ending that Murasaki would be happy with. Though of course that would also mean giving up on the version of everyone works so hard to come up with. It feels like if we go with the ending Murasaki wants, it would invalidate everything we worked to accomplish. I don't want to think that all our effort was wasted because we didn't end the film correctly. I know this is a lot to ask since the film can only have one ending. But is there anything we can do that will make everyone happy?
No. That's not how it would be amazing, but sadly that's not how it works. There we go. It would be amazing, but there will always be someone that is not happy, you know? Like I am now. And of course everyone that voted on Gene Alter's ending are happy, obviously. And of course if you did, that's perfectly fine. It's just me having a banter, you know, being a silly ass bitch. But you know, no matter what ending it took or became, if it became Arash, people would be upset about that, you know. At least some that didn't vote for it, you know. So yeah, it's an it's bound to sadly be like that.
Well, now, this is a surprise. Is this some secret you wish to discuss with me, Doctor?
There sure is, General Cortez. I suppose it would be the best described as a get-rich-quick scheme. We already collected Singularity Magic Energy, but it feels like we can do better. So the movie just about done, but the Singularity is obviously still there. So I figure there must still be a little something left for us to acquire. This Singularity was born from movie director's lingering regrets. It only stands to reason that he wouldn't be truly satisfied with anything less than the Best Picture award, right?
Indeed. I can't see your face well over the transmission, but it seems to be quite the villain yourself.
Oh man, come on. I mean, Salma, yeah, sure, okay.
So that's exactly what you have in mind for me, Doctor.
You were the one who modeled us for the portrait, so I know you knew the movie was supposed to go from the beginning. So I want to run this suggestion, this idea I had past you. Would you be willing to hear me out? But I suppose me trying to give you an evil scheme is like teaching a fish to swim, isn't it? Aww. Come on, man.
I suppose everything that happened in the story thus far would be a mystery act. And much as I love to agree with anything the detective says, you can't have a mystery story without someone suspecting something is amiss. As such, I had resolved to hold my tongue until the rest of you began to suspect. But it seems I need not to hold it any longer. There is but one puzzle left to resolve this story. How can we go about the lying master's concern? No matter how many ideas one may have, the story can only have one conclusion. There's no getting around that. But what if they were to integrate both Murasaki's wishes and everyone's hard work without diminishing either? Naturally, as the good doctor said, we may not be able to reshoot any vital scenes. But that does not mean our hands are completely tied. Of course, you won't have to wait long for the denominator to start and see what I mean. But you have just find it interesting to try coming up with the answer for yourself.
Dude, fuck me, I love Moriarty, man. He's such a sneaky guy. I love it. Trying to murder it? What? Are we gonna return? What? Murder? More murder? Return to the murder at Meihousou. Chupacabra.
Pardon me, master, but I have a proposal that may put your concern to rest.
Really? Do you have an idea?
Yes, but I can't get to take all the credit for it. This was more of a collaborative effort. I won't say it's the best of all worlds, but I do think it will let us avoid the worst possible scenario. All you need to do is make me the lead actor.
Say what?
And Gerald would be none too pleased about this, so let me be perfectly clear up front. What I propose is not born from a desire to play the lead, nor am I proposing it as an attempt to improve my image. I merely believe that make me the lead character will need to resolve the problem currently eating away at you.
Oh, so you're saying we should make Miguel Angel Cortez the main character?
Naturally.
Fetch as hers. We spent the whole movie building you up as an irredeemable evil. We don't have any needed time we need for that rest shot to fix that.
I disagree with that assertion, but fortunately, it doesn't matter regardless. For you see, we will have all footage we need.
Nani?
Forgive me, that isn't quite right. What I should have said is we already have almost all the footage we need.
What are you talking about, Professor? I have no idea where you're going with this.
While we may be missing a few of the performers now, I still recall shooting some video along these lines.
Okay. Nursery rhymes?
By inserting footage we shot from documentary into certain key scenes, we can dramatically change how Miguel is perceived.
This is amazing. Your idea to use a spec from outside the movie is the same as mine, but is on an entirely different scale.
Then does it mean everything we shot up till now is fair game?
Yes, I suppose it is. I suppose it does. For example, when Murasaki's cube suddenly collapsed, you were all genuinely concerned for her well-being, no?
Yes, of course.
That we can rework that footage into a scene that's just you all concerned for Gabriella.
So we'll be looking for usable bits and pieces of footage where we can find them, huh? It won't be easy, but if we can pull it off, it ought to be well worth it. I see. That's definitely a good idea. Alright, you have permission to shoot any additional scenes you need. But remember, once time is up, you all need to come back immediately. It isn't much, but try to do your best you can with what time you have left.
Understood, Dr. Roma. We take advantage of every second we have. Right, Murasaki? This threat of spiders has given me a ray of hope. If it's alright with you, I promise I won't let this chance go to waste.
Aw. That's so nice.
Okay, we're going to use Moriarty's idea. We need to have Gabriella become dependent with life, not only to finally realize how much her adopted father truly loved her, right? Right.
Got it, so Gabrielle take the poison because she felt like she had nothing left to live for, and everyone else goes nuts trying to help but her.
Of course, I still end up losing my life in the process, but I suppose we have no choice but to make it fit somehow. You got it! Hey, we made it this far flying by the seat of our pants with one more go before we pick it in.
Though it may still be different from the original plot in certain ways, this should ensure the movie remains Miguel's and Gabriella's story. Of course, since Gabriella has such a little screen time, it will eventually end up being more of Miguel's movie. But I hope you can overlook that one account of how devastatingly dapper I am.
Indeed, he's a dapper, handsome gentleman.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that.
I see. So this was your goal all along. By unveiling your idea when all other options had been exhausted, you gained a lead role with a minimum of effort. Good grief, you never changed, do you, Professor?
But Eunice is always painting me at the worst possible light. Fuck you. For your information, it was purely by chance that I realized my contact thus far could be used in the movie. Besides, you know very well that I'm not the man given operating in the open like this.
Well, I suppose it's not every day that would-be artist gets the chance to help others so directly. Very well then, as they say in the entertainment business, break a leg. Okay. I just see him really want to break Moriarty's leg.
My thanks. I hope I can avoid breaking my back while I'm at it.
Oh man, it's not easy getting old, man.
Now then, shall we, master?
We shall! Okay, this is interesting. Man, though I thought it was... How... Oh my god, this is a long... Meihousou middle ending? What? Middle? What the fuck does that mean? Dude, this is a lot of shit happening. You know? Murder! Drama, poison, death, hand. Dramatic hand. Handy.
So how is she?
Her life is not in danger, but I have no idea when she might wake up.
Are you the one who prepared our drinks?
I was not. While I did serve the drinks, I didn't have time to add anything to them, even if I wished to.
Wait, assuming I'm remembering it correctly.
What?
I think I started taking what looked like some sort of medicine before she entered the ballroom.
Oh, so you're the host of the party poisoned herself on her own accord. Why would she do such a thing?
That's weird. She's been running the whole show up to now. I don't see any reason why she want to ruin it herself. I don't know what she took or why, but if nothing else, I think it's absolved Salazar.
Maybe she just lost all hope and figured there was nothing left for her to live for.
If you're correct, then there's nothing we can do. As long as she feels that way, she likely has tried to again after she wakes up. Well, what if you dealt with whatever is causing her despair? Of course, we need to discover what it is first.
In order to do that, we need to find out exactly why she lost hope and why she wants to end it all.
I think I might know.
Oh?
Her love was bought and sold when she was just a little girl. Even if she did get inherited old Geese's legacy now that he's dead. There's no way you can feel a whole experience like that he must have left in her heart. I probably would choose death if I were in her place too.
Then it's settled. I search for magic and see if we can find any clues.
I would be happy to check the storehouse myself.
No, we go together just to be safe. No one should go anywhere alone.
See, alright, if you...
I like how they actually, like a movie, they actually using the cuts they recorded when Salsa was there. And because no Bart is not there anymore. Come to my Chaldea, Bart. Please be a real thing. Don't misunderstand, this isn't because I suspect you. It seems better for both of us to have witness present.
True, if we go together and anything happened to one of us, the other would come under suspicion. I apologize for my rudeness.
Be careful out there, you two. There's no telling what you might run into.
Baboom!
Did anyone else hear that?
Then it wasn't just me.
Did something happen to him?
And all well to have you feel, just to be said, let's lock this room and all go check on them ourselves.
Dun dun dun, blood, death, romantic hands, sexy hands, nice hands.
Vargas, it's gonna be happening! Vargas!
They're both dead, look like they killed each other. Which of them attacked first?
Vargas would never ambush anyone! Look like you're right. Vargas bled from a wound on his back. Salsa must have attacked him while from behind. He's probably meant to kill Vargas with one strike and hid the body somewhere. But he obviously failed, leaving Vargas with just enough strength to strike back.
Oh, but he could have taken Vargas down in a fair fight.
I mean, this is pretty much the same as before, so I'm gonna skip this because, you know, you already gone through this.
He hasn't said a word.
Quite to consider evidence, yeah. Yeah.
Hypno and Thanatos. Bam, bam, bam. One of us is the culprit. I say this. Rest assured, the matter's in well in hands. Okay, right. Okay. Really?
Where is everyone? It's been over 2 hours since they left.
Either they ran into some sort of trouble, or they found something promising. All we can do is hope it's for the latter. Still, given that they are working together, they should be okay as long as nothing too dire befalls them. Or they murder each other!
Salsa worked for Miguel, right, uncle? But now that Miguel is dead. What kind of hold could she still have on Salazar would make him willing to risk his life?
True, if Miguel was controlling Salazar with fear, there would not be further need for Salazar to be afraid.
And it's not like he had any family for Miguel to threaten, since he did not even know who he was.
Do you think you could risk your life for someone who's already dead, Elise?
No way. I can't even imagine risking my life for someone who's still alive.
Indeed, that's how most people seem to feel. I'm certainly no exception. Perhaps Salazar's willingness to do so is proof of more genuine loyalty. Nah, no, they actually used that. So I leave you like this will only make things harder for you. Forgive me leaving in the middle of all this. Dude, okay, that is actually pretty smart, man. That's a big brain. Plus on the face of the fear we've been working on to do far, but perhaps Miguel was actually kind of a virtuous man. The kind who inspired loyalty out of love, not fear. Of course, now that Salazar is gone, we have no way to knowing him for sure.
Boom, boom, boom. And by the time you guys get back, wait, where is Garcia?
Serrano office, he was going on about something we had to check. We have no idea where he could be right now.
He just and then he just using an on air, Arash airline flying through the window like, ah, Stella!
That said, every other survivor is in this room. Assuming there's no one else hiding out there, I expect he should be fine.
What's more, we learned a few very interesting things. First of all, we found a document that showed Gabrielle is Daiso's younger sister.
You don't say.
Of course, I expect that was the case. On its own, that wasn't any great surprise. But what if it turned out that Miguel was actually trying to prove not his own life, but everyone's else? Would that be surprising?
The hell are you talking about? Miguel was living an embodiment of ambition and greed.
We found a report on the state of Nadia prior to the revolution.
He painted a bleak picture of Nadia's future prospect. That is to say, it had none at all.
What? That can be right.
There's no question that the first president only aided the revolution because he knew the cost of failing to do so would be the nation itself.
Then what? Are you saying Miguel coup turned out to be the right move in the end?
Sure looks like that way. So now I have to re-examine everything I thought to be true. And determine if Miguel Angel Cortez really was an evil man I thought him to be. Man.
Well, General Dan, I can convince you to surrender peacefully. In our age, surely you wish to avoid needless injury just as much as I do.
I have no intention of refusing to acknowledge reality, but I also know that your army was quite determined to take advantage of the situation. So I thought you could at least serve as a scarecrow of a sort and draw the rebels' attention away. Then while you were forcing their serried child down, my soldier could strike at them from behind.
Clever plan, General Tan. Just what I would expect from you.
And we already seen this, yeah. I can imagine if you hold back rebel army if you're forced alone. That's your problem. Matter of fact, I already reach understanding with rebels. They have no more sense of bloodshed than I do. Contemptible wretch. Please don't think poorly. So that's what you do here. Everything ends up so abruptly.
And I thought you would give up on this before I did. I'm less patient than I thought.
Happy to help you in any matter my lord wishes. No matter how difficult. Dude, that's so kind of smart.
I see, I almost envy your steadfastness.
Dude, okay, I love how they incorporate that. General Tam was loyal to a fault. If he truly wanted what was best for Nadia, it should have been to initiate the coup.
So what? You're saying that Jesus only protected the royal family because Nadia was on the brink?
The royal family at the time was indeed rotten to the core. I can attest to that myself. Even Miguel hadn't betrayed them, they would certainly have fallen into ruin if left to their own device. I'm not trying to carry water for him, but the Revolution Army was really an army in name only. If General Tan had succeeded in flanking them that night, we would have lost for sure. After that, I have no doubt the ones who survived would have turned to guerrilla warfare. And that would have led to the country getting bogged down in much civil war, which would only impoverished Nadia.
If that had happened, I probably never had been able to become a singer.
It's difficult to believe, but the logic is sound. So if Miguel foresaw this when he took over the nation, that would make him a hero, would it not? If that was the only way he could do something good for the world. I also come across something of personal interest to me.
What is?
Their cause of Daisu's death. He died at night, just as I always suspected. He and General Tan ended up killing each other, sort of. According to the report, what happened was...
Besides, you don't just mention this is all you have for me. You're trying to pull a fast one on me?
Good grief. Seems we have an overexcited pupper who still need to be housebroken. Just think could a decent workout.
Huh. Yeah.
I was not sure if it will play out. You're bleeding. Was it thankful? Ah, dude, this is cool actually. I liked it. This is like big brain play. Like, oh yeah, we use the old clips, you know. My time is over. I wish you well with this yet.
Murder.
I can't excuse what the General Tan did, but I can understand why he did it. Daisu would never been able to adjust to this new, more peaceful world. I think General Tan felt the responsibility to make sure Daisu would never cause any further problem. As for Miguel, he knew Daisu would be leaving behind a little sister.
Now, where was it the first time I met him again? It was the town library. I was waiting there to meet my brother.
Ah.
Sorry, my girl, but you've been wasting your time. You feel better if you're never seeing him again.
This is big brain.
Then what should I do?
Well, we'll have to see a child cry. Alright, I'll tell you what. I'll give you anything else your heart desires instead.
This is actually, I like that. That's pretty smart.
That's right. He was always so kind right from the beginning. He didn't breathe a word about my brother's death. He has taught me all the sort of things to help me cheer me up since I was all alone.
And I like this. He felt responsible for Daisu's death as well. That's why he took Gabriella in. Of course, though those of us looking from the outside, it just seemed like he did satisfy his own desires. If nothing else, he was a master of hiding how he really felt.
Well, I don't like it. From where I sit, she just up and disappeared on me out of nowhere. But at least I know she was treated well now. That's a huge relief.
Hey, check this out! Pow! Boombox. A letter? Where did you get this? I've been doing my best to figure out what cells are attacked Vargas like that. And I think it's probably because there was something important in there. Vargas happened to go near it and Salsa must have thought he was trying to steal it. So if that would happen, I thought they'd be able to find what it was near where they fought. And I did. There was a small safe around there. Aw, dude, that's pretty smart. Luckily, it was easy enough to break the lock. So that is where the letter came from. Does this mean Salsa threw away his life for nothing? Thing is, the letter is from Miguel Angel Cortez and it's addressed to Gabriella.
Then does that mean they holds Gabriella's secrets?
Gabriella should be the one to read this, but since she is currently indisposed and this is an emergency.
My beloved daughter, Gabriella, by the time you read this, I'm afraid I will no longer be with you. I've instructed Solar to give you this letter when the time is right. Perhaps you read this 3 years from now, 10 years from now, or maybe you never will. But that's alright, writing this letter is something for a selfish exercise in truth. More than anything in the world, I love hypocrisy. Playing up one's own goodness is but having accomplished nothing of value. That is the very height of self-indulgence. In that sense, my good deeds to date have been purely practical. I believe in doing the good deeds you wish to do, regardless of whether others understand your reason or what they may whisper when your back is turned. Some good deeds cannot be accomplished with clean hands, and I've never been one to hesitate to roll up my sleeves. But I'm afraid my bad deeds have caught up to me. I can no longer continue as I am now. My enemies are now so numerous I can no longer keep track. and it will come as no great shock were I to be assassinated sooner or later. Even the police are constantly looking for an excuse to throw me in jail. Of course, I'm delighted to see them so eager for justice, even if I'm the one who's unsure this country would drive them to sorry. And above all, I'm concerned that the dirtier my hands get, the harder it becomes to hear my consciousness. I never told anyone else this before, but in truth I'm a much more innocent man than I pretend. That's why I'm going to end my own life before I can become a genuine monster. Thus I will be able to handle the rest. And if any further problems should arise, the closers should take care of them.
The closers?
Now, here's the important part. A few days after my funeral, evidence of wrongdoing committed by certain high-ranking government officials should be delivered around the country. Far too much for them to cover it all up. No doubt this revelation will create something of a crisis, but things should settle down soon enough. Until they do, I would like you to lay low in Meihousou. Finally, I need you to tell you about my legacy. Given that I use it primarily to level the forthcoming charges on my opponent, most of it will cease to be useful for blackmail after I'm gone. However, some of it will still retain its usefulness. As such, I hope you will think of something you'd like to use my legacy for yourself. In the meantime, I invite a number of good people to stay by your side. If you happen to find love with one of them, wonderful. If you find friendship with them, that will be wonderful too. Whatever happens, I'm filled with hope and love for you and your future.
Aw, man. Moriarty. Hi.
Your loving father, Miguel Angel Cortez. Now I see. So you two were the closers. Oh. Now that I've been presented with incontrovertible evidence, you have no choice but to come clean. Indeed, our job was not to uncover the truth, but to see that trouble was handled quickly and quietly. We still need to figure out a good way to explain Vargas and Salazar's death. But since Gabriela survived, that shouldn't be too hard. Perhaps we'll call this case a Meihousou most foul. That's much easier than the job we were hired for.
Adriana, what did I say about Silas being gold?
And can you believe these idiots? A couple of them have even died for no damn good reason. But that doesn't mean you have to be party to the idiocy, Gabriela. So come on, wake up already.
Wake me up.
Please.
Who's on?
Gabriela? This might be a lot to take in after just waking up, but the truth is...
It's alright, I've heard everything. Thank you for worrying about me, Lizzie.
Ugh, you could just call me deaf from the start and say that but a lot of time.
As usual, you're far cry from being a proper lady, Alice. But right now, I'm glad for that foul mouth of yours. Well, you're free to do whatever you like now, Gabriela. Have you decided what you're going to do now? The world is your oyster?
I'm sad to hear that Vargas has had a fatal misunderstanding. But I look forward to getting to know all of you better, as friends my father so kindly choose.
That sounds like a great plan to me. I think Dyson would have been happy to hear that too.
I'm sorry to be down, but you all have forgotten what the letter said. The scandal time bomb President Court's plans is bound to go off soon. There's even a possibility that some disgruntled dissident could try to attack the Meihousou when all this goes public. So I think I'll stay a little long to make sure Gabriel remains safe from any potential hooligans.
This was part of the job Miguel entrusted to us. Well, guess my hands are tied then. Vargas always hated being left alone, so I better stay here a little longer.
Aw. I am staying too. There's no telling who might come after someone as famous as me if I just gambled around with the care of the world, right, Uncle?
I quite agree. I was just thinking I could use a change of environment for writing my next song. Then I think I'll stick around a little longer too.
And you married? Shouldn't you go back home soon?
My wife is much stronger than I am. She will be fine on her own for a while. Well, yeah. Indeed.
I thought I was all alone. But I see now that all these people really do care about me.
What's more, I finally realized I always had my best interest in mind. Thank you, Father.
Dude, I like that, man. Dude, that's good shit. That's good. I was worried what might happen to this contract. All those government officials were arrested for corruption. But luckily, they ended up just clearing the air. Thanks to that, it's a lot easier to do business now. My family used to have a pay through the nose just to keep those guys off our back. I'm glad they're in prison now. I think looking pretty dicey back when the royal family was supposed to, but then I not and made it tough stuff. Wow, you're really good, pal. Play us a song, will ya? Forget it. Compliment is a dive like this don't mean a jack shit. What was that? Easy, man. Come down. What are you talking about, pal? There's a cell in a huge magic called the Meihousou, somewhere in this country run by a beautiful proprietress. That's a fancy word. They say if you can prove yourself there, they'll invest in your career. And if you do really good, Jabba might even give you one of his songs. It's my dream to become a good enough musician to be invited to Meihousou someday. Just forget about it. There's no way in the place really exists. You're better off working a real job like us. Bartender, another round.
Well, now, that sounds fascinating. If only more people would really good. Tell me all about it, and the next round is on me.
Oh, you get a deal? Alright, so the Mayhew's home to a beautiful prophetess, a singer, and... Dude, okay. Ah, the wink! Okay, I like this actually. That was a good fucking ending. I just like Moriarty, like, wink! Hey! Miguel Cortez!
Alright, I believe that's a wrap. And we have a few minutes to go before the singularity disappears. Tell me, Doctor, why do you think of a Meihousou smells foul? Are you satisfied with the final cut?
Absolutely, that was the best thing I've watched in a good while. There might be a few plot holes here and there, but otherwise I never have believed you guys improvised the whole thing. Thanks for the great movie, General Cortez. All that's left now is to end this call. Then our deal will be over and Lanok can take over to finish the job.
What about Maj and Murasaki? Don't you need them to see if they're satisfied with the result as well? And don't you need to see if the rest of the cast are happy with their performance? I believe that was part of the reward you had in mind, no?
I don't need to ask them about that. It was perfectly clear even from the side of the camera. That said, there's one thing still nagging me. You know what I'm talking about, right, General Cortez? I don't know the other side, but I don't think I know anything at all about you. I can't help but think that it's a little odd and even unfair.
Unfair? Don't be ridiculous. After all, I know nothing about you either. We don't know each other's names. But so what? That little conundrum may be quite consensual, but it's also quite wonderful. Besides, where the other than the world of cinema can change encounters like this occur. For a brief hour or two, characters that usually would never share the same space get to play with one another. Movies are nothing if not entertainment, so they are the most perfect place for this sort of fantastical crossovers.
Yeah. Is that a romantic way of thinking? Dude, okay, man. Why do you need to hit me in the face with Roman and all that, dude? God damn it, man. Oh, Miss Roman.
Yay! Another grail into my pocket. Clunk! In you go.
Oh my god. Okay, why there's still stuff going? What? That's a wrap. Okay, so we are done. Okay. And then we have the hunting I'm gonna try to do a bit of, but... Okay, that was the event. Seriously, okay? It was a little bit long at times, I guess, but... I really do like the ending, actually. I think it was a very interesting and fun way how they actually incorporated all these parts to make it like a movie, and yeah, that was really fun to see, and I really also like just generally seeing Moriarty like this, you know?
That was just genuinely really, really fun. So yeah, that's a Meihousou Most Foul event. We got it all wrapped, the movie's done. I guess we see in the second one. Hopefully it doesn't turn into a Hollywood film and that it's like 20 of them in the end. Oh god.